Alright guys, Andy here, and I've got the next step of the Der Eisendrache Easter egg. We just fed the 3 dragons, and now we have picked up our bow. So we're going to take our bow, and we're going to upgrade the lightning bow. There's 4 bows you have to upgrade, but we're going to start the lightning by shooting that golden dragon on top of that spire, and then we're going to pick up the blue item it drops. When you pick this up, it ties you to this quest, and you're going to be doing the lightning quest. Later we're going to do the other quests, but we're starting with lightning. So the first step is to look outside the map, and there are 3 different pyramids of logs stacked up that we're going to turn into bonfires, essentially. We're going to shoot our arrows off the map and light these giant pyramids of logs on fire. So the first one is right down here, and I'll show it to you and how to hit it. Okay, so if we walk down towards the bridge that's blown up, you can look off and see that little pyramid thing. I'm going to aim way above it and shoot off into the distance, and the arrow's going to hit it and light it on fire. Now, it's going to probably take you a couple shots to get it. It took me a couple shots. I just showed you the one that actually hit. But just shoot it off the map, and if you hit it right, it will catch on fire. The next one is going to be up across this bridge and at the top of the clock tower. Okay, so now we're at this landing, which is right next to the clock tower. And if you look off this ledge, you will see the next stack of wood on that spire below us. Took me a couple shots. All I have to do is hit it again with the arrow, let it light on fire, and then move to the last location. So for the last location, you're actually going to have to teleport down to where the rocket launches. Now, if you look on the cliff to the right side, like up high, you'll see it. Right there, all you have to do is shoot it again with the arrow, and you will be good to go to move on to the next step of the Easter egg, which actually takes place down by the NPD. Alright, so the next part of the Easter egg is to make this room glow blue. The way you're going to do that is by standing on these 4 pads around the pyramid. You don't have to have multiple teammates standing on pads at the same time or anything like that. Just walk onto one and stand there, and it'll eventually make this noise, and it'll glow blue, and you know that it's good. After you do all 4, it'll make the whole room turn this bluish tint, and you'll be able to wall run in it. Now, you won't be able to wall run the whole time. It lasts for about 30 seconds. Then it's going to go away for about 2 minutes, and it's going to come back for another 30 seconds. So it just goes back and forth. Now, you are going to have to wall run in here to complete the next part of the Easter egg. Alright, so the next part of the Easter egg is going to involve wall running. Now, you're going to notice that in the MPD area, these symbols, the one that's on top that kind of looks like wind, is now glowing. The one on bottom is gold still, and it glows occasionally, but you're focusing on the ones that are on top this time. There are 5 of them around this area, and what you need to do is wall run, touch all 5 without touching the floor. Okay, so here goes my attempt at hitting all 5 in one wall run. I don't know what I do here. I hit the first one fine, and then the second one's right in front of me, and I jump over it. Anyway, so I just kind of wrap around this corner and keep going. I don't think I even realized that I missed it. I never saw it, and so I'm pretty sure I'd done the complete circle here, but I decided I'd go around again, and that's really how you have to do this. It's not so much about getting the right pattern, it's just more about staying on the wall and making sure you get all of them. So I got the last one, and you heard that sound cue, meaning that I had done it correctly, and we can move on to the next part of upgrading the lightning sword. Alright guys, so we are on the next part. After wall running, you're going to go back up to the clock tower, and you're going to see this glowing urn. What you want to do is kill zombies next to it, and it's going to kind of suck their soul into it. See that white ball that goes into the urn? It's pretty much like any soul box we've seen, especially like the ones on Origins. So I think it takes 5 zombies to fill this. It does not take that long. It's pretty easy to do. And the way that you tell you're done is there's 2 ways. One, it doesn't take any more white souls. So 2 just went in, so I know it's not filled. Another one just went in, I know it's not filled. Eventually it's going to stop. And that's how you know you can move on to the next one. So the next urn that you want to do is in the room that's kind of above double tap. If you go to the right out of the spawn and into that upper courtyard area, it's in a room there, and you can see it in the corner here. Now, what I'm doing this time is checking to see if it's done a different way. What you can do is aim at the urn and pull back the bow, and if you see that electricity that came back onto my arrow, like you just did, that means you're done. So if I went back to the clock tower and did that, I would also get that electric feedback. But if I went to the third place, which we're headed towards now, and did that, I wouldn't get any. Okay, so the last urn that you need to do is actually down by where the rocket launches, and it's basically right after you get off the teleporter. So you see me here finishing up on my final ones. I'm going to go over here and check, pull it back, and certainly I do get that feedback, so I know I'm good to go. So now that we've got that electric feedback on our bow, we can move on to the next step. So for the next step, what you're actually going to want to do is go to the urn and pull it back, just like you checked to see if it was done, but keep holding it back and walk away. Now walk to the bonfire that we lit earlier and fire your arrow at it, now electrocuted, and it will add this electric cloud to the bonfire. So you have to hit it again. And we're going to do this to all 3 of the bonfires from all 3 of the urns that we just charged. Alright guys, so we are up in the clock tower and we are going to get the electricity on the bow from that urn, and then we're going to fire it at the bonfire over here. And you can see that I get the purple swirls around it, which means it was successful. So we're just going to travel over to that very last urn and go ahead and fire it at the last bonfire. Alrighty, so here is the last one. Remember that it was above double tap, and if you actually just kind of peek out to the left, you can see the flame that you need to get. So if you just sneak up there, and I was trying to get it from too far away, but if you aim your cursor at pretty much the very top of the flames and then stay in the middle, you should hit it, especially within a couple tries. You can see there I barely miss. I think I'm a little bit short. So we'll grab another one here and aim it at the top of the flames, maybe even a little bit higher, and voila, hits it, and you get the confirmation in the top left-hand corner. So we are ready to move on to the next part. Alright guys, so we just shot our electric arrows at all of the bonfires. Now the next part of the lightning upgrade is that you need to go back to where you got that first part, and now there will be smoke around where you first picked it up. Go ahead and interact with that smoke, just hit the interact button, and it's going to fly up into the air, and it's going to mix with that electricity and that flame, and out of all that is going to come a full arrow. So all you have to do is walk up to the arrow that appears at the base of the little tower there, pick it up, and we're going to take it downstairs to the pyramid. So now that we are at the pyramid, if you find the corresponding box, you can actually set the arrow in it, and it's going to give you a max ammo. And this is the final part of upgrading each of the arrows that you actually have to do. What we're going to do now is just get kills around that arrow. Alright, so you'll notice I killed this zombie and no soul goes into it. So I know that the arrow has been charged. So what I decided to do is I'm going to go up to it, and all you have to do is place the bow with the arrow, and it combines them to make the upgraded lightning bow and arrow. So after they're combined, just walk up to it, and you can take it right off the shelf, and you have got it, the upgraded lightning arrow. You can also put that back onto its little shelf. So that's kind of like a holding spot for it. You can put it there and let a teammate come pick it up, or you can start upgrading another one and just leave that upgraded arrow right where it's at. So that's step 2 of the Dear Eisendrache Easter egg, kind of, except for we have to do the other 3 bow and arrows. If you want to see the videos on how to do those, subscribe to my channel. I'm making those videos and I will have them up as soon as possible. Thank you.